Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, today as you can see here that basically we are going to talk about the national integration, right? National integration, that's the topic that we are going to talk about. And believe me, the series that we are going to start right now, that is going to be an amazing series. Why? Because the other topics that we had discussed so far, all these topics are somehow political in nature, or you can say somehow social in nature, somehow theoretical in nature and all. But this topic of the national integration that we are going to start, that is the combination of all the others. Like it is political, it is social, it is economical, and it's cover all the aspects that you can think of political, social, or economic perspectives. There is nothing like which is apart from this. Okay? And here, if you look at this word carefully, the word that is reflected in front of us is the national integration, right? By seeing this, it seems like it is a one word, but in actual, it is two words. It is two words. National, then integration. National and integration, it is a mixture of two words. If we talk about them one by one, okay? And why I'm saying that this is an, you can say, mixture of two words. When we talk about the national, so basically, whenever you look at India's map from the political point of view, you always seen that the India is not a uniform line. Uniform line means like there is no single government that governs the entire country, right? However, there is a national or the union government, but that government also shares its power with the state governments or the political divisions that we have created in the name of state, right? So there are 20 states and 9 union territories that we know. Okay. So national point of view, here we are talking about the entire country. Entire country of 1.3 billion peoples. Okay. And integration, if we talk about, so basically we are talking about all these 1.3 billion people, all these 28 states, all these 29 unitary territories in a single frame that we could look upon, right? So that is what is the national integration. And when we wear the glasses that look at these terms from a single point of view, then it's become the one word national integration, not the other words of national and integration. National means when we're talking about the entire country. Integration means when we're talking about the different things, but all these different things are in a common sphere, right? So basically, if we move forward in a further step of exploring this particular think of the national integration. Okay. So basically, in this national integration, all these are the topics that we have scheduled for discussion. Like, we are going to talk about the introduction of the national integration. What do you mean by it? What is the purpose of this? And what kind of other things we could cover here. Apart from this, meaning of national integration, aims of national integration, role of various factors in promoting national integration, obstacles to the national integration, National Integration Council or the NIC, and the National Foundation for the Communal Harmony. So all these topics you can see here are having the different aspects in learning, having the different meanings, different ways, and the different theories in them for learning, but all of them are referring to the same thing, that is national integration, right? That is the national integration. Whether it's an introduction, the same. Whether it's a meaning of national integration, it's the same. Whether it's a aim of national integration, the same. Whether this is the role of various factors that we use to promote the national integration, that is the same. Obstacles that we have in promotion of the national integration. National Integration Council that is purposely designed to look after the integrating of different elements of the society of India into the one common frame for social harmony and the exclusive development for all. Thereafter, the National Foundation for Communal Harmony. Alright? So, now if we move forward, basically that is what we have as an introduction. Okay? Introduction of the term national integration. Now, most of you will say, so far, whatsoever we had discussed before starting this lecture in the first slide, where we had seen the bifurcation between these words, it's like national, we separated from integration. So most of you will say that that was the introduction. So why we are taking the introduction again? So there is a one common factor, okay? And the factor is that was not an introduction. Remember, that was not an introduction. That was understanding and the bifurcating of the term national integration. Okay? Like on this, we had just seen how this national integration is apart from each other and why we are putting it together for our understanding. Right? So basically, now in this introduction, we are going to see why do we need it? What do we mean by this? Because the integration simply means when different elements we have. Suppose here we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, J, K, L, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, Y, W, X, Y, Z. All these are the English alphabets. All these are different. Okay? A is different from B, B is different from C, C is different from D, D is different from E, E is different from F, then G, H, I. This cycle continues up to Z. And Z is different from all of these 25. Right? So all these are the different alphabets. But when we put them together and when we make a series of 26 English alphabets, then instead of counting differently, all of these counted singly, right? As the 26 alphabets of English. That is what I mean. That is what I mean. Like, national integration is the merging of the different elements of the country that we have, and then it is merged together on the national level. Okay? And especially in the case like India, if we talk about it. So as we know that India is a diverse country, right? India is a diverse country, and India is only country in the world that I would like to say, which is that much of diverse. There is no other country in this world, or we can say there is no other country exist in this world that is diverse than the country of India. Okay? And this diversification is in terms of many things. Alright? So here we can say India is a land of widespread diversity, and this diversity is count in the terms of the religion, the language, the caste, the tribe, the race, the region, and so on. Alright? Even before this, there was one term also that was a term of civilization. That was a term of civilization. How? So basically remember, this diversity of the country has not started just now or just few decades back and all. That was existed since the country is known. Okay? Like, let me take you back to the previous centuries. So when we will talk about the Stone Ages, all right. So Stone Ages, you all of know. If you don't know, let me tell you. Basically, in the beginning of the human life, the humans were not that much of smart that we are today, right? Okay. The humans were living in their primitive ages. Like, they were fully dependent on nature. They were hunting the animals for their food. They were gathering the fruits and all right. And for tools and other kind of things, basically they were dependent on the stones, right? That is why that is known as the Stone Age. In Stone Ages, if we talk about in India, so in India, Stone Ages were existed in many parts, but the culture was different. How? If we talk about the North culture, in the North India, basically, so the people who were living in the North on that time, they had the Sohan culture, right? In Sohan culture, their tools of stones which they had made, those were differs. The people in the South were having the Madras culture. In Madras culture, the tools that were they were using, all those were different. So now you can see we are talking about the same age, the Stone Age. The people were living in the same country, the country of India, but still on that time they had the diversity, right? The Northern India people having a different diversity, the Southern India people having a different diversity. All right. So that was the thing. Even if you go further, like the further evolution of the human beings. So when the humans got evolved further, all right, like they converted into the Chalcolithic ages. Okay. Even in that time, when the Northern India were having the Chalcolithic period, the people who were living in the north side, they were using the copper tools and all. In southern India, on the same time, there was a Chalcolithic period plus monolithic period. It means the southern people were using the copper, but also they were having a graveyard systems like we see and today's, you can say the graveyards. Like there is a grave of someone, then above of it there is a rock platform or some board and all, this kind of thing. So now you can see here. Even when the Indus Valley came into the picture, all right, the people who were living in the northwestern part of the Indus Valley, they were using the different tricks and techniques for their survival. And the people who were living in the other part, they were having different. And as the country evolves further, as the people of the country evolves further, then this diversification even gone larger, even gone larger. And now we are in today's. So this diversity is having of the main things. Like here we can see these are in the terms of religion, the terms of language, the terms of caste, the terms of race, the terms of tribe, the terms of region. But on what basis these terms got modified? That is the main thing. Okay. On what basis? Like if I ask you, have you ever gone to the mall? You will say, yeah, I have gone to the mall. If I ask you, when we talk about the three different things, a particular mall, a particular shopping complex, a particular shop, and a particular fairies or the thela wala, you can say. All of these were selling the clothes. But what do you think? Is the terms of their clothes would be the same? You will definitely say no, right? The prices would be different. The quality would be different. The brands would be different. The guarantee would be different. Okay. So these are the terms. But on what basis these terms got divided? Right? So similarly, if we talk about these terms, how they got divided, so basically that was all about the beliefs, all about the geographical integration, all about the need of the people, and all about the evolution inclination. Okay, all the things were basically got divided on these bases. All right, like if we talk about it, first is the terms of religion. India is the only country in the world that welcomes all the religions that exist. In India, you will find everyone. You will find the Hindus, you will find the Muslims, you will find the Sikh, you will find the Christians, Buddhist, Jainism, Jewish, and other kind of minor religions also. Not the religions, but also the religious divisions would be there. Like if we talk about Hindus, so Hindu culture in the North India, in the West India, in the Eastern India, in the Southern India, are all these having the same practices? No. The festival, the rituals that we celebrate in the Northern, in the Western, in the Eastern, or in the Southern part, that would be the same. But the procedure that we will follow, that would be different. Right? Like in North states, mostly the famous festival Dashera is for one day. Okay? Before this, there is a 10 days of Ramayana drama and all. Okay? Here I'm using drama for the way, like the entertainment purpose was going on there. Alright? That was the thing. Or the role play, you can call it. Okay? Ramayana's role play and all. In southern India, mostly the Dashera festival is celebrated for 3 days. Okay? So now you can say, similarly, before this, if we talk about the Muslim religion. In Muslim religions, the two major sects are there, Shia and Sunni. You will find both here. And not only the Shia and Sunni, but all the others, like Firdausi order, Wahhabi order, and other orders, you will see in the country itself. Similar with the other religions. Okay? So now you can see not only the one religion, but even the diversity of that religion we have in our country. Okay? Similarly, if we move forward and we talk about language. So we know India is a land of diversified language. Even if we talk about the official languages in India, then there are how many languages? There are 22 official languages in the country. Right? 22 official languages in the country. And these are only the official language. Even the dialects we use in these languages that got changed. Like we can say, on average, if you Google it and you will see some reports, what you will notice in India, there are more than 6,500 languages and the dialects. Like if we talk about the Hindi is the majority support language, right? Most of the states of the country having their language as Hindi. Alright? Even the dialect of Hindi is different in other areas. Okay? Like the Hindi that we speak in the western Uttar Pradesh. That is different from the central Uttar Pradesh and then the eastern Uttar Pradesh. In western Uttar Pradesh, that is a Khadi Boli. Okay? Or the Khadi Hindi. In central, it was the mixture of Khichdi Hindi and the Braj Hindi. Then when we go to the east side, that is a mixture of Awadh Hindi or the Bhojpuri Hindi. Now you can say there is a one state only, the Uttar Pradesh, that is a Hindi speaking state. But even in that state, now you can say the one language, that is a Hindi language, that got that much diversified. From Khadi, then Braj, then Khichdi, then Awadh, then Bhojpuri. Similarly, if we cross the state of Uttar Pradesh, we enter into the territory of Delhi, the Hindi would be different. Then in Haryana, the Hindi would be different. Okay? Similar with the Rajasthan and then the Madhya Pradesh also, Bihar also, Jharkhand also, Chhattisgarh also. Alright? Similarly, if we talk about the other languages, like the state of Karnataka. In Karnataka, the language is Kannada. Okay? So the Kannada dialect that we have in the central and the southern Karnataka, that is somewhat different within northern Karnataka. Right? In India, there are the 5 major languages in the southern part, like Kannada language, Malayali language, Telugu language, Tamil language. Alright? So now you can say that just in the other part, the languages got divided. Okay? Southern India is just like this, right? Within this part, the languages are different. There is a state of Karnataka, Kannada, state of Andhra, and the Telangana, Telugu, state of Tamil Nadu, Tamil, then Karnataka, Malayali. Alright. So now you can say 5 languages or 4 languages are there. Okay. So that is a thing. Apart from this, caste. So if we talk about the caste system, then let me tell you one thing in a straightforward. In order to track down the diversity of caste, first we have to track down the Indian history. How? In Indian history, mainly during the Vedic civilizations. Okay. During the Vedic civilization, there was a 4 Vedas that got introduced in the country. Right? If I am going to ask you, what was the name of those 4 Vedas? To answer this, you guys will have the tenure of 30 seconds to think and answer. Then I will give it answer. This is the question. Okay. So your time starts now. Just 30 seconds you people have, and you are required to tell me what were the 4 Vedas that got composed during the Vedic civilization. 10 seconds have been passed. Last 20 are remaining. Just think fastly and think accurately. Okay, last 10 seconds are there. Okay, the time's up. The correct answer of this is Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharved. Okay, Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, and Atharved. So these were the 4 Vedas that got composed during the Vedic civilization. Out of these 4 Vedas, the first one that was a Rigved, right? The Rigved is the oldest human testimony, or we can say the oldest human text that was ever recorded. The Rigved composed of the 10 chapters or the 10 mandalas. Out of these 10 chapters, the 10th one, the last mandala, named as the Purushokta. That mandala or 10 Purushokta is containing the 4 varnas. Okay? Or the 4 division of the society. So now this is the second question that I'm going to ask you. What is the 4 Varna system of the Indian society? Or you can say, in which 4 divisions the Indian society is divided? To answer this, you will have 30 seconds to think and answer, and your time starts now. Just think about it. 10 seconds have been passed, last 20 are remaining. Okay, the last 10 seconds are there. Just think fastly and think accurately. Okay, the time's up. Correct answer is, these 4 varnas are, first is Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Okay, so these 4 varnas are there. Okay, and the people are divided in these 4 varnas. Further on, with the time, these 4 varnas got further divided into the caste that we know today. Okay, and in India there are the different castes, and even these castes got divided further, like the upper caste, the lower caste, the other backward classes, the scheduled caste, and all. Okay, so because of these divisions, that makes a separate or the isolated caste system in India that is not that much good for us. Thereafter, the tribes. In India, when the evolution was taking place in the starting time, alright. So basically in India, there was those 2 divisions, mainstream division and the tribal division. Okay. Some people got evolved with the time and they transferred into the civilized manner or the modern human beings that we called mainstream. We are the part of this mainstream. Some of our brothers and sisters, they did not get that much of evolve and they choose to live by their traditional ways, and these becomes the tribals. Okay. So now when we talk about this, both the tribals and the mainstream, both of them We both are living in the same country. The tribals are living in the same country. We are also living in the same country. But because we are more often based on the modern ways, and those peoples are more often based on the traditional ways. So this gap between us, the traditional and the modern ways, is basically hinders the integration of both in a common structure. Thereafter, the race. Here we are not talking about taking the race from each other. Race is, you can say, some racial thing. Okay. Like, if you ever heard about the case of America and the Europe, still now it's was in the news. Like there was a two race people, the white race and the black race. Okay. Similar thing happens in India. Okay. Thereafter, the region. It means that if I'm a Punjabi, I won't like you because you are from South India. If you are from South India, then you will not like me because I'm from North India. Similar with the Northeastern or the Eastern India and the Western India. So these are the main terms in which we are divided. And we are divided in a manner that basically we create this widespread diversity. And that's why we want to integrate all of us in a common place. So we can say, hence the achievement of the national integration becomes the very essential part for all-round development and the prosperity of the country. Why? Because each of us, irrespective of the religion that we follow, irrespective the language that we speak, irrespective the caste that we are from, irrespective the tribe that we like to or we belong to, race and region. Also, we all are equally responsible for the development of this country, equally responsible to take this country further. Because overall, when the country will go high, automatically we will go high. Okay? That's why the achievement of national integration is very essential for this thing. Okay? So students, basically in this lecture, we have finished till here. In the next lecture, we will continue from here. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture. Be ready for the next lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.